Have you ever felt like you've been knocked down so hard that getting back up seems impossible? Like the world has thrown its worst at you, and you're just left there, in the dust, wondering if you even have the strength to try again. I know that feeling. I've lived it. Today, I want to share a story with you. Not just my story, but a story that I believe lives inside every single one of us. It's the story of the comeback. Imagine a young artist. Let's call her Ilara. From the moment she could hold a crayon, she drew. Her world was a canvas, a symphony of colors and shapes that only she could see. Her dream was simple: to share her vision with the world, to have her art hang in a grand gallery, to move people with her brushstrokes. She poured her heart, her soul, every waking moment into her craft. She sacrificed parties, late nights with friends, and countless hours of sleep, all for the love of her art. After years of relentless effort, she finally got her big break. A prestigious gallery noticed her work and offered her a solo exhibition. It was everything she had ever dreamed of. The opening night was a blur of excitement, congratulations, and the intoxicating feeling of validation. Her dream was no longer a distant star. It was right there, within her grasp. Critics praised her unique style, and collectors started buying her pieces. Ilara was on top of the world, and then, just as quickly as it all began, it started to crumble. A cruel, senseless fire swept through the gallery one night. Everything was gone. Every canvas she had painstakingly created, every piece that held a fragment of her soul, turned to ash. The news hit her like a physical blow, knocking the air from her lungs. The gallery was insured, but how do you put a price on a lifetime of dreams reduced to smoke? The vibrant colors of her world faded to gray. Her paintbrush felt heavy, alien in her hand. The blank canvas, once a field of infinite possibility, now felt like a stark, mocking white void. The voices of doubt, which she had fought so hard to silence, came roaring back. Maybe you're not good enough. It was just a fluke. You'll never get that chance again. She fell into a deep, dark pit of despair. The setback wasn't just a loss of paintings. It felt like a loss of her very identity. Who was she, if not the artist? For months, she didn't touch a brush. The joy was gone, replaced by a hollow ache. Her friends and family tried to encourage her, but their words felt like empty echoes. They couldn't understand the depth of her loss. They saw a setback. She saw an ending. She was ready to give up, to pack away her art supplies and find a normal job, to let that vibrant part of herself die. One rainy afternoon, sitting in her empty studio, staring at the wall where her favorite piece once hung, something shifted. Amidst the grief, a tiny, flickering ember of defiance sparked to life. It was a memory, the feeling of the brush in her hand, the smell of oil paint, the pure, unadulterated joy of creation. She remembered why she started. It wasn't for the galleries or the critics. It was for that little girl with the crayon, who simply loved to create. The fire had taken her work, but it couldn't take her gift. It couldn't burn her passion. It couldn't erase her spirit. That night, with trembling hands, she picked up a piece of charcoal. She didn't have a canvas, so she drew on the wall of her studio. It wasn't a masterpiece. It was raw, messy, and filled with all the pain, anger, and grief she had been holding inside. But as she drew, she felt something she hadn't felt in a long time. She felt alive. That single charcoal drawing became the first step. The next day, she bought a small canvas and some cheap paints. She didn't try to recreate what she had lost. Instead, she painted her journey. She painted the fire, not as an end, but as a crucible. She painted the ashes, and from them, she painted a phoenix, vibrant and defiant, rising with wings of fire and hope. Her new art was different. It was deeper, more powerful, infused with the raw emotion of loss and the fierce strength of survival. She started sharing her new work online, not with the goal of fame, but simply to connect. She told her story, the story of the fire, the despair, and the slow, arduous climb back. And people responded. Her story resonated with thousands who had faced their own fires: the loss of a job, a broken relationship, a health crisis. They saw their own struggles and their own potential for resilience in her art. Her comeback wasn't a return to where she was before. It was a complete transformation. She became more than just an artist. She became a symbol of hope. The setback, the most devastating event of her life, had paradoxically become the source of her greatest strength. It forced her to dig deeper, to find a resilience she never knew she possessed, and to create art that was more authentic and impactful than anything she had ever made before. The comeback was, in every sense, stronger than the setback. Why am I telling you Ilara's story? Because Ilara is in all of us. We all face fires. We all have moments where our worlds turn to ash, where our dreams seem to be destroyed. It's in these moments of profound loss and despair that we are presented with a choice. We can stay in the ashes, or we can choose to find that one tiny ember of defiance and start to rebuild. Your setback is not your story's end, it's the plot twist. It's the catalyst for your character development. The pain you feel is not a weakness, it's fuel. The scars you carry are not marks of damage, they are maps of your resilience. The world may knock you down, it may take things from you, but it can never take your spirit, your will, your capacity to begin again. Think about it, a muscle has to be torn to grow stronger. A bone, when it heals, is strongest at the point of the break. A forest, after a fire, grows back with more vigor and diversity than before. Nature itself teaches us this fundamental truth. True strength is forged in recovery. So, whatever you are facing right now, that failure, that heartbreak, that loss, I want you to see it not as a period at the end of a sentence, but as a comma. It's a pause, a moment to breathe, to grieve, and then to gather your strength for the next clause, the one where you rise. Your comeback story is waiting to be written. It starts with one small step. Just like Alara picking up that piece of charcoal, it might be sending that email, going for that walk, making that call, or simply getting out of bed. It doesn't have to be a grand gesture. It just has to be a move forward. Don't let the voice of defeat become your inner monologue. Silence it with action. Prove it wrong. The comeback is not about forgetting the setback. It's about honoring it, learning from it, and using it to build a version of yourself that is stronger, wiser, and more unbreakable than ever before. You are the author of your life, and the most powerful chapters are often written after the greatest challenges. The comeback is always stronger than the setback. Now go write yours. Thank you so much for watching and for letting me share this with you. If this message resonated with you, please hit that like button. And subscribe to the channel for more stories to fuel your journey. And don't forget to share your own comeback story in the comments below. You never know who you might inspire. Remember, you've got this.